Hello Internet, welcome to Game Realization, a Five Nights at Freddy series where we put together all the pieces we've left forgotten. Now, I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about in this series, but I think it's only fitting that we start with the first thing we ever hear, the identity of the phone guy. Now, the phone guy is a bit of an interesting case because we typically think of him in the context of FNAF 1, being the first game in the series, but there's actually a lot more that we can learn by listening to him in relation to the lore's timeline. So today, I want to go through all of his calls in a lore-accurate order, and unscramble a surprisingly clear-cut story of this guy, starting with his training cassettes from FNAF 3. Note that I will not be talking about Phone Dude, as he only has 2 calls and no one really cares. Okay. Starting with the tape from Night 2 of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we learn that his earliest documented job is a spring lock safety instructor at
Freddy Fazbear Pizza.
This is a strange job for the guy we hear in FNAF 1, but given that these tapes need to date pre-Bite of 83 since spring locks haven't been retired, we should consider this the phone guy's natural state. Now going forward, these early tapes don't tell us much other than the way he might be reading off of scripts based on his janky tone of voice, but the Night 3 tape does give us insight on how he addresses safety hazards.
In the case that the spring locks come loose while you are wearing a suit, please try to maneuver away from populated areas before bleeding out, as to not ruin the customer experience.
This is a very explicit protocol for a very life-and-death situation, so clearly Phone Guy wasn't always as vague and uncomfortable as he is in FNAF 1. However, at some point in his early career, spring locks end up retired and his job changes a bit.
There's been a slight change of company policy concerning use of the suit. Don't.
This tells us Phone Guy was still working while there was a bite at
The sister location.
and his position in the company changed from springlock safety instructor to a more general safety position, going on to address the safe rooms and confirming that he was still working in 1985 when
The spring Bonnie animatronic has been noticeably moved.
during the missing children's incident. There isn't really much more to learn from these FNAF 3 tapes. He was just a safety instructor that took his job seriously, and while he was just reading scripts, he remembered to smile as the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. But there's 2 more games and I haven't even told you the guy's name yet. I'm not trying to clickbait you, so let's go. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 1987.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you get started down this new and exciting career path.
This time around, he's taken the role of a security staff supervisor, ready to help Jeremy as the new hire, as well as just managing shift hours.
You're only the second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right?
It's also worth noting that after the initial company greeting, he begins to ramble and stutter more heavily, implying that the greeting was the only scripted part of his calls. This allows Jeremy's
Summer job.
dating in November to be the result of an old script, as Phone Guy's later calls are definitely made in the moment. The unstructured calls also allow us to hear more about his personal experience with the company, as heard over the next couple of nights.
I love those old characters. Did you ever see Foxy the Pirate? Oh wait, Foxy. Oh yeah, Foxy. I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. Did, Foxy ever appear in the hallway? Probably not. I was just curious. Like I said, he was always my favorite.
These strong opinions on the various characters help to reiterate his fondness of Fazbear Entertainment, just in case the scripts from his last safety job left too much up to interpretation. And Night 3 also gives us a glimpse behind the scenes of the company.
Oh, hey, before I go, I wanted to ease your mind about any rumors you might have heard lately. You know how these local stories come and go and seldom mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever is going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual, and he's on watch from opening till close.
Once again, Phone Guy establishes himself as a security supervisor rather than just a regular guard, as the day shift guard is supposed to be reporting to him. But he also makes a point to dismiss rumors about Fazbear Entertainment as A, it's his job, and B, he trusts the company. Unfortunately, these next few calls will really work to break his trust.
Okay, so just to update update you. There's been somewhat of an investigation going on. We may end up having to close for a few days. I don't know. Just as a side note, though, try to avoid eye contact with any of the animatronics side if you can. Someone may have tampered with their facial recognition systems. We're not sure.
He is actively trying to remain calm in the face of an actual murder investigation, but that's not gonna last the later nights.
Oh, hey, good job, night 5. Keep a close eye on things tonight, okay? From what I understand, the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, especially concerning any previous employees. When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift. A position just became available. We don't have a replacement for your shift yet, but we're working on it.
He is significantly more stressed this time around, specifically tensing up while talking about the purple day shift guard who suddenly needs to be replaced, but he also goes on to talk about some of his own duties in regards to the investigation.
We're going to try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fazbear's Family Diner or something like that.
And it is at this point that I want to re-establish that Phone Guy worked at
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza,
and that Fredbear's Family Diner is just
the sister location,
where
multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures
caused the suits to be retired. Phone Guy has every right to be confused here, as he never worked at Fredbear's, and he suddenly needs to report back to this place now that
Someone used one of the suits.
that came from that restaurant. But this confusion aside, Phone Guy has one more call to make in this game, and boy is it a doozy.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay? For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. Okay, good night and good luck.
Upon seeing Jeremy going in for overtime, he outright panics. Jeremy's safety is his top priority, so he moves Jeremy to the day shift and offers to cover the nights himself. And he does. On night 7, there is a pink slip issued to not Jeremy Fitzgerald, but Fritz Smith. On his first day as a guard rather than a supervisor, because he had to defend himself, and he stinks. Okay, Fritz's Phone Guy is a very old theory, and I'm not claiming it as my own, but most people let it die way too early, and all of the evidence really is there. Most people give up with the fact that Fritz gets fired in FNAF 2, yet Phone Guy's still working in FNAF 1, but the Michael Afton in every game theory also depends on getting fired and getting rehired, and timeline issues aside, I feel like the Springlock safety guy has a much better resume than the rotting corpse guy. And Mike Schmidt is also fired for general unprofessionalism, which is missing from Fritz's pink slip as, again, he has a good history with the company because of that whole Springlock safety thing. And while we're out of the first 4 games ballpark, the Fritz gravestone is generally accepted as Foxy's kid, and like Phone Guy says,
He was always my favorite.
but I know that the name similarities are questionable support for my argument, because then I'd need to connect Jeremy with being Bonnie's kid, a FNAF 2 night guard, and the virtual experience guy that cut off his face. Actually, maybe I'm onto something. So now that I have thoroughly lost some of you, we still have FNAF 1 to cover, and if you don't think Fritz can get rehired, then hopefully his behavior here will change your mind.
Hello? Hello? I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact.
Already he's in his lowest documented job position, being just a regular security guard recording messages out of the kindness of his heart rather than being part of his job, but it only gets worse as this call continues.
Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah. Now, that might sound bad, I know, but there's really nothing to worry about.
Blah blah blah. The guy that used to explain how to manage springlock failures is disregarding company scripts with blah blah blah. Clearly this guy is salty, but at least this behavior doesn't affect how he helps Mike with the animatronics.
Also, check on the curtain in Pirate Cove from time to time. The character in there seems unique in that he becomes more active if the cameras remain off for long periods of time. I guess he doesn't like being watched.
Considering the character in there used to be his favorite, he's clearly become disenchanted by Fazbear Entertainment if he won't even call Foxy by name. What else does he have to say about the night shift?
Not that you would be in any danger, of course. I'm not implying that. Most people don't last this long. I mean, you know, they usually move on to other things by now. I'm not implying that they died. That's not what I meant.
At this point, I feel the need to remind you that this man used to be a safety instructor who had no issue talking about
accidents, /injuries, /death, /irreparable and grotesque maiming.
And I want to reiterate that because suddenly there's just no danger? Fritz Smith, the phone guy, was fired from his last job, rehired in a much worse position, disregards any scripts issued by the company, no longer feels anything for the characters that he used to love, and is no longer allowed to even imply people can die. Fazbear Entertainment has destroyed this man, to the point it influences his dying breath.
Oh, hey, wow, day 4. I knew you could do it. Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you when I did. Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. You know. Oh no.
His final request to Mike was to go check the costumes in the back.
You know how these local stories come and go and seldom mean anything.
In his final moments alive, all he wanted was for someone to indulge the rumors he had spent his entire career denying. Fazbear Entertainment had done this man wrong, and as death pounded on his door wearing the faces of characters he used to adore, Fritz just wanted someone to give him justice, to ruin the company that ruined him. To say that Fritz Smith is just an alias for Michael Lafton is denying a voice of its body. To say the phone guy couldn't be fired is erasing the motive of an unspoken malice. The phone guy is Fritz Smith, a once respectable man who looked out for his fellow co-workers, a man who suffered for one mistake, and a man whose job cost him everything. And whether or not you agree with me, just understand that I've had this realization. A game realization. Thanks for watching. Hey, sorry that my channel's been dead lately. I've been wanting to make this video for a couple months, and I just haven't been able to sit down and record it and put it together. But, I have had a script for this video finalized since September, and in October, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie released, featuring a little Easter egg that the night guard before Mike was named Fritz. So that supports this game realization. And also, I want to make more game realizations. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna try to get some more out in a semi-reasonable manner. Thanks for watching.